So I just want to introduce ourselves first before we jump into talking about our membership recruitment initiative. As Diana said, I'm Sharice Wells. I'm Vice President at Corning Place Communications. We have had the pleasure of working with the entire team at RPA and the board and staff for over 5 years now. Kick it over to Nicole.
My name is Nicole Stacknick. I work in video production and multimedia at Corning Place Communications. So that means I handle anything that's techie. So if you have cell phone problems, just come grab me afterwards. I'll come help you.
And Nicole's been with us for going on 2 years, and actually before joining Corning Place, she had the opportunity to work with RPA in other capacities too. So great addition, and she's been rocking in with all of our video efforts on behalf of the membership, which we'll talk a little bit about. So real briefly, just want to, here we go with technology again. Oh my goodness. Thanks, Nicole. Just a brief background on our whole team. So there's another 5 members of our Corning Place Communications team back at the office who help in a number of different capacities on behalf of the membership. They are pros in graphic design, media relations, and it runs the gamut, and as well as crisis management too.
I think that pretty much covered it. Sure. As far as the video production capabilities go for RPEA, we have the capability to live stream, as we're live streaming now. We also, at Corning Place, record testimonial videos quite frequently, which are interview-based. We also, record commercials. So last year we had a commercial running for RPEA. So our technology capabilities and graphic design services are fully integrated, and we're able to work with the members of RPA's staff and board to really accomplish any of their goals.
And I'll just add, because I know there were questions about the slides earlier too, we were recording that Zoom, and Nicole has one of our cameras here today, so following the meeting later this month, we'll have the full meeting recorded, and we'll be able to add that presentation into the final meeting video that we'll be sure to share out with the membership. So I'm going to jump over, unless Nicole, thank you, you're going to do the slides for me. Fantastic. All right, so talking about the recruitment campaign. So there's a number of things that we do on a daily basis on behalf of RPA to help build membership and, as Ed mentioned earlier, get RPA's name out there so we can recruit soon-to-be retirees or those who have retired recently. The 4 components we're going to walk through this morning include the paid digital advertisements, which we have running on both Google and Facebook. Google, because we all go to our phones to ask Siri and Google questions, right? So we're doing ads there. Facebook, because that is where our demographics are located. Everyone on Facebook that's predominantly 55 and up, those are our soon-to-be retirees or those who are already in retirement. We also manage RPA's website and social media efforts. We'll talk a little bit about earned media placements in a few minutes, and that is everything that we're doing to get RPEA in the news. So pitching stories, talking about advocacy efforts, and other situations. And then lastly, some of the member communications and other support that we provide. So first, talking about our digital advertisements on Google and Facebook. This is just a quick look at what we've accomplished so far this year. Between March and August, we had 162 membership form submissions. So what that means is anyone who clicks on our advertisements for RPEA on Google or Facebook, they're directed right to the website, and they decided to join and become a member right online. So because of all the wonderful data and analytics that we're able to track, we know that 162 submitted on the online form, which is great. 98 membership clicks. So we also have the membership form available on the website as a PDF that you can download and print off to send in. You're also welcome to share it with folks who you think might be interested in joining RPEA. So far this year, nearly 100 folks have gone to download that PDF and mail it into RPA's headquarters in Troy. and then 30 newsletter subscriptions so far this year. So those are folks who came to the website as a result of our ads, and they decided, oh, let me give the e-newsletter a trial run and see what RPA is advocating for on my behalf. And then we work with the staff back at the office to quarterly follow up with folks and say, hey, you've been receiving our e-newsletter, you got to get to know us a little bit, and what do you think? Would you like to join? And can I get a raise of hands? Who gets our e-newsletter? Oh, nice. That's pretty good. Well, if you haven't signed up for it yet and you do have an email, if you go right to the website, there's a link on there and you can sign up really easily and you can get those updates. I think that it's at least usually about twice a month, but during the legislative session, there's obviously a lot more going on in Albany, and the staff and board are working to keep everyone informed. So a great resource, and highly recommend signing up for that. Oh, great point, Nicole. And we were actually just talking about this yesterday with the chapter chairs. When you do sign up for the e-newsletter, or if you already have signed up for the e-newsletter, please check your spam folder in case those emails are getting sent to your spam folder. You want to just uncheck the box about spam and just make sure that you're getting those updates. And the one other thing I'll add, which I received these numbers this morning, so I wasn't able to update our PowerPoint, but including the month of September, these numbers have actually gone up. So we're at 176 new members through our online form, 130 people have downloaded the membership form, and 36 new e-newsletter subscriptions. So the numbers keep going up, and it's all a result of all of our online efforts, as well as, of course, word of mouth, because people are then seeing the ads on Facebook, seeing the ads on Google, and joining forces with RPEA. So next up, just talking about our social media a little bit. Last year we did talk about the testimonials that Nicole shot with some board members and some other RPA members. There's an example here over on the right-hand side. This is one of the many ads we have running on Facebook specifically. So again, highlighting an RPA member. They talk about the value of membership. So if you see these ads, please share it on your Facebook pages, share it with your community, and let people know, RPA is a great resource and you should join. Over on the left-hand side, we just wanted to share with you where we're at in terms of growing our social media following. So on Facebook, we're at nearly 3,000 followers so far. And if you have not followed RPA's page yet, you might still get the news in your news feed and see it in your news feed. You might not actually be following it yet. Please check them out at facebook.com/RPEANY. That is the page name, so you can find RPA that way on Facebook. Same with Twitter. I realize this number is smaller and probably not many of us are on Twitter. I'll briefly explain why this is important. Those 150 followers on Twitter, those are the decision makers in Albany. Those are reporters, and those are legislators and their staff. So while that number may be small, we use RPA's Twitter page specifically to talk about what we're advocating for in Albany and making sure it's getting in front of the people who are walking around the halls on their phone all day, and making sure that RPA is top of mind. And then on LinkedIn, this is important for the soon-to-be retirees specifically. We have a pretty significant following there. And again, if you are still active on LinkedIn and keeping in touch with colleagues there, we invite you to follow along. So moving into website management, a couple of years ago we revamped RPA's website. It's a great resource for yourselves and of course former colleagues or friends who may be interested in joining or could benefit from joining RPEA. The screenshot that I shared here is specifically of the About Us dropdown. We've been talking about testimonials and videos a couple of times so far today, and I just wanted to highlight under the About Us tab, there is a section for testimonials, and that's where you will see all the videos that were done last year, as well as videos that we've done over the past few years of folks who are on the board, have been on the board, or are RPA members. So please visit the website, take a look, see if you know anybody, recognize anyone's face. They're great to, again, share with folks who may be interested. And I'll run through real quick what else we have on this on RPA's website. You'll notice at the top there's a members area. There's also a join now, renew membership option up at the top right-hand corner. Social media is linked to the top right-hand corner. And then all the way to the right, there's a news tab, and that's a great resource for you too in terms of the things that are going out in the e-newsletter a couple times a month, and any time the RPA is in the news, or we do statements or news releases on issues important to you. That's all going to be located under that news tab. And there's a lot of other great information there. I won't run through everything, so please visit rpa.org and check it out.
I will just mention real quick, in the middle of that tab bar at the top there, it says events. There's a drop down that says annual meeting. That's where you will find the video for the annual meeting after the event. It'll probably be up sometime
Great point.
next week, okay?
Great point, Nicole. And I'll just reiterate that for the folks in the back. The final video that we talked about in the beginning of our presentation, that will be located under the events tab under annual meeting. So keep a lookout for that in the coming weeks. And those slides from the civil service folks will be included in that video. Next up are earned media efforts. So this is anything that we are working with reporters on to get RPA in the news, talking about issues that are important to you all. So looking at the last 10 months, last November through August, our numbers for that time period, we were able to reach nearly 900,000 people. That's through placements on TV, newspapers, radio, et cetera, and we'll talk about some of those examples next. So we reached nearly 900,000 people, and the publicity value would be more than 50,000, which is great. So that means, if we were to pay for advertisements with these news outlets, it would cost that much to reach that many people. I just find that to be interesting. So great numbers there, always trying to work on reaching more people every year. And next up, we have a couple of examples of Diana, Ed, speaking on behalf of RPA on issues that are important to you. This is from March, earlier this spring, in the Times Union, talking about an important issue there. And we'll go to the next slide. And also, these slides will be available in the final video too, just so that you know. Some other media placements that we've had over the last 10 months. Post Standard in Syracuse, Watertown Daily Times papers, Olean Times Herald, Spectrum news stations statewide, including down in New York City, New York 1, Channel 7 up in Watertown, and then the Capitol Press Room. I just want to highlight this one and its importance. It's an NPR program, and this specific program is what all of the decision makers in Albany listen to on a daily basis, basically. So this is one that we always try to make sure that one of our representatives on the board, or Ed, gets on every year to talk about advocacy issues, especially that January to April time period when everything's going on in Albany. So definitely always make that a priority each year. And then lastly, some of the other efforts that we work on together with the staff, the quarterly newsletter that you all get, the brochures that you have on your table. We just revamped those this year as well. And then some other communications and materials, letters, and working with the staff to make sure that we are communicating at all times and as needed. So that is basically a little of everything that we do for our membership recruitment campaign. I will say, anytime that you can share anything you see on social media, definitely encourage you, again, follow us, check out the testimonial videos on the website, and feel free to reach out to Nicole or myself. We'd be happy to share our information afterward, our email, if you have any follow-up questions. And I guess if you have any questions now, I'm happy to answer those. Yeah. Do you want to?
Somebody else or am I?
No. I was gonna... Oh, sorry. Yes. Would you mind walking up to the mic so everyone can hear? Thank you, Diana. Sorry. No, I know. Good catch. Yeah, thank you.
Have you had any luck recruiting people at the time they retire from the personnel offices?
I think I'm going to let Ed.
Because it seems like they retire and then they lose sight of all their benefits. But if you could hand out these things, because I used to be a health benefits administrator.
Yeah, so
but I retired 20 years ago.
Right. So what we do is we get from the Controller's Office, under an agreement that we have with OSC, names and addresses of retirees as they get them. Now, This is a confidential list. We do not share it with anybody. It sits in our database. Based on what that information is, we send out letters to these new retirees,
Oh,
explaining our PEA, telling them, what we can do for them, asking them to join, and we'll send follow-up letters as well. So that's how we recruit
Oh.
brand new retirees.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just following up on that, that's how I became a member, through that letter that was sent out.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. One other thing on that same theme. Many of us went to pre-retirement meetings before we actually retired, like within 3 years. The group I was with, there were 200 people in the room that were expecting to retire within 3 years. That might be a good place to set up maybe a desk or something, just to put out the material to them, because they're going to be retiring and very, very soon, and it might be helpful.
Who sponsored the seminar you went to? Was it at one of our chapters, or was
I
it an
think
agency?
It was a civil service, I believe, that was doing
Yeah.
it. They went through your health insurance benefits, the tiers, what you could prevent, what you would be getting in benefits from the tier that you were in when you retired. Health insurance, they went through the gamut there. But just having a desk there and handing out material, I think might be beneficial.
Okay, thanks for the idea. Anyone else? Going once, going twice. Oh, one more. Oh, okay. Ah, thanks.
Just on a follow-up with what he just said, I know with Department of Corrections, we were able to go to a pre-retirement once within 5 years of retiring. So I think, at least in the state, every agency may do it differently, but I know at least in corrections, so maybe contacting somebody in the different agencies to find out how they set up a pre-retirement and how often to table there. Because
Okay.
I mean, it used to be, it wasn't at one facility. I think I'm in Central New York, and I think I had to travel down to Auburn, but you were able to go to the thing, but you could only go once in 5 years.
So is this an event with exhibitors? Was it a meeting?
Well,
what
it
the
was
setup?
a meeting that they talked about, and they had civil service there that kind of told you some of the things that you needed to do, some of the paperwork you needed to start. They gave you phone numbers of when you got closer to retirement to call civil service so that you could set up at least a phone conversation to do your paperwork and where the paperwork needed to go. I can't speak for the other agencies, but I know that's what we did in corrections.
Okay, all right, thanks. Yep.
I have something to add to it. In the Capital District, they used to have the seminars every 5 years, but since COVID, they've sort of stopped them, and I believe it's now solely online, but I can find out more information.
Yeah, they weren't sending, during COVID, they were not sending representatives out. They might do it at their agency, but I
Well-
still don't think they're sending them out into the field either.
No, this was a presentation. They would have somebody from Social Security, they would have somebody from Civil Service, they would have somebody from the New York State Deferred Compensation. And it was a really great thing to go to because they provided you all this information. But they haven't offered it ever since.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, they still haven't.
I don't, as far as I know, I don't think they're doing it either. I think they're doing it online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe there is a way that our PEA can connect
Okay.
online with that.
All right, thanks.
But
Yeah.
I will try to find out.
Okay, thank you.
I might have a little more information on this. It's a program that Goer is doing, and it's as was originally was said here. Within 5 years of retirement, you can do it. It was a full-day seminar. Retirement was there, Social Security was there, Civil Service there was to talk about health benefits, and there was sometimes at these things there were flyers. I saw things from some other groups, so I contacted them to get a PEF flyer there. And they were doing that, but as was said, when COVID, they all went online, and it's like 12 videos that is now on. If you go to the Goer page and you go to the bottom of the page, it talks about pre-retirement seminars, and all the videos are all there. They also have a 200-page book about retirement that has all the information that you need beyond the stuff that they're talking about. When you look at the front of that, it says that that's paid for by the union contracts. But we didn't really have, besides being able to drop off the flyer that they were going to do with that, once it went electronic, I don't know that anybody has any contact. PEF staff was supposed to look into it, said that they had looked into it, but we never got anywhere with there being anybody's flyers now associated with it, that it's all totally electronic.
Okay,
That's of the last I know of. It may have changed.
so they're not doing in-person I mean, we can check it, but they're
Right.
not doing in-person at all.
Not that I'm aware of, but like I said, I haven't checked it recently.
Okay,
But
thanks,
that was-
that's
that's
very,
the-
yeah, that's helpful, thank you.
Hi, Bill Worcester, Capital District Chapter. As retirees, we are all entitled to the benefit of employee assistance program with the state. It does not stop when you retire. So anybody that needs assistance from EAP can get assistance from EAP. EAP does do some of these types of seminars and programs. So we should reach out to EAP programs statewide and at least have something about us. Put out our information or something that is on or with EAP.
Who administers the EAP
The
program?
The EAP is another one of those combined funding unions, the state. I think they both match the money, sort of. And so it's for employees, if they have any need any assistance with anything, and you'll be surprised how far that goes. We could also probably, if we do get in with them and they're fine with doing something with us, we might be able to even dovetail and put something on our website that's saying these are the EAP benefits for state, for state. I don't know if the town, county, and municipalities participate. I don't think they do. I think they have their own HR and their own way to deal with things. So, but it's another avenue, EAP.
Okay, but you don't know, it's a standalone program or an agency administers it, or you're not sure? Somebody knows.
Yes, somebody really knows, and I.
The man in back of you knows.
I know, and they ask people to volunteer as EAP reps, and they select them, and there's a committee that does it.
Okay.
But yes.
Okay.
Mike Blue, also Capital District Chapter. It's available through OER.
Okay.
And there's information here. There's an EAP brochure. There's a number you can call. So we should be able to find out more about this. I wasn't aware that it was available to retirees, but if it is, I think it'd be a great resource for us, and it would be a place to provide information to
Yeah, great.
potential
Thank
future retirees as well.
you. Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Ed, just going to ask a question.
It's not really a question. Therese, could you just explain for people on Facebook how they get our piece of information? Like I get it. It shows up in my feed. Is that because I went to our RPEA website? Could you explain how people get the information and then they could share it?
Yeah, good question. Oh, sorry.
Great question, Ed. So there's a couple of different ways that you can get the information on Facebook. Again, I encourage you to follow the page, and that means that you'll constantly be seeing what we're sharing with you. The other ways that we're making sure that the right audience is seeing RPA's information is through our paid digital ads. I won't get too much into the weeds on that portion because it can be a little scary how we can target. But basically, we include a lot of keywords, including different state agencies, local municipalities, keywords that you all would be interested in, pension, COLA, et cetera. That's a pretty extensive list. And then we're able to target those specific users on Facebook who are interested in those keywords. And that's how we're able to make sure that the right people are seeing RPA's ads and our information. And yes, thank you, Nicole. And that's the way that we place the ads on Google as well. Again, using those keywords. But I would say, follow RPA's Facebook page and share the different posts that you're seeing on there with your network, and that would be extremely helpful.
All right, so I'm a person who is a step-by-step. So I go to my Facebook page.
Yes.
And I have all the people that I see.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I want to find RPEA or Corning or whatever,
Yep.
do I go up to the little bar that has the question mark and
Yes.
write RPEA in it, and then it brings it up, and then I can follow from that page?
Yes. Yep. You can go about it two ways. You can, in the URL, like if you open up Chrome or Safari or however you go to the internet, you can actually type out facebook.com/RPEANY. That'll bring you directly to our page.
Okay.
Or if you log into your Facebook page or you're on your phone on the app, go to that search bar where it has the question mark. You can type in RPEANY, or you can type out the full name, Retired Public Employees Association, and that will bring up our page. And you'll know it's our page because the RPA logo will be the little icon next to the name. You'll see this logo right here.
Okay. And then I know I have a thing over there on the side that's called groups.
Yep.
If I go into the group, I can type RPEANY or no?
That's separate. So
That's separate.
RPA's Facebook page is a page, almost like your profile is your profile. The groups are more specific to your interests. Like sometimes they'll be like the North Greenbush Community Group or what have you. So those are separate. But what you can do is go to RPA's Facebook page and share information from the Facebook page to groups that you are members of.
Okay. Thank you.
Great questions. And again, feel free to reach out after. We'll be here for the rest of the event on the breaks and happy to answer other questions as they arise. Thank you very much.